sad and you're angry, so the reflection will show the same thing. There was this, I don't know, probably you heard about this politics in Israel. There's this a place in Israel, in Yerushalayim, it's called Mea Shearim. Mea Shearim, I don't know if you've been there in Israel, it's very interesting to see. They close all the streets and they don't let any cars pass that there on Shabbat. Very nice, it's quiet. The whole week, it's a whole big balagan, all of a sudden it becomes quiet before Shabbat. Nobody can come with a car. Anyway, there was this motorcyclist that liked purposely to go to this and go into this neighborhood. And you know, motorcycle makes a lot of noise, so everybody hears when he goes, right? He did it purposely and he goes into that corner to make people upset. One of the times they could do that, his gas just stopped, finished, no gas. He was stuck in the middle of the way and couldn't do. I mean, he cannot leave, he cannot go. His motorcycle is not working. He doesn't know what to do. Now he becomes kind of afraid. Why? He heard about people or kids or gangsters over there. They throw stones on cars that travel on Shabbat, and they make all kind of they make all kind of protests over there. They start shouting and screaming and yell, and they, all of them wearing black, all of them. And it's frightening. All of them with beards, all of them with black. Who knows if they all come? What's going to happen to him? He's kind of sitting there, kind of fearing what's going to happen. And then from one of the doors comes somebody out, happy face, tells him, "You want to drink something? Come, I'll give you something to drink." So he brings him home, he gives him some drinks, some food, he eats and he drinks and he feels, okay, these people are not monsters like I thought. And then, well, you cannot leave anyway, we're going to shul, maybe you want to come, and if not, it's okay, you can sit, you can read something. Basically, he didn't threaten him. He didn't oppose on him his religion or something like that. And it was very pleasant. Shabbat meal was so interesting, he never saw such thing in his life. Lighting candles, sitting together, singing songs. It's interesting, eating these things, the soup that they have and whatever, it was fun. And then talking until in the middle of the night, talking and expressing ideas and stuff, wasn't so bad. Because when you reflect, you know, that you care about the other person, that he's important to you, that he's not a piece of garbage, he feels that. And then he acts the same. That's what we say. K'mayim hapanim lapanim. So this is the lev. This is kach lev ha'adam la'adam. This is the lev. This is the heart that we're looking for. The heart, the lev tov. Another siman, another sign to lev tov is, again, what says in Pirkei Avot, ve'heveh dan et kol ha'adam lekaf zchut. To judge favorably. Okay? Okay, you saw an act, you don't understand, you don't understand from this, and who knows if she's religious. That's what happens to us sometimes. We make our own, we understand certain things, and then better not to come close to these people, who know who they are, better to separate, better to be, better. I mentioned him last week. He was a very, very special man. I want to explain that Rabbanit was so special man in Jerusalem. Just after he passed away, people asked who can write memories about him, who had an incident with him. They filled 3 books just of incident of people with him. Everybody wrote that he was such a good person, that he's just caring, that he was so good, that he was very, very special man. He was the father-in-law of Rabbanit Yehoshua. So, Arav Aryeh Levin, he said once, I learned what does it mean ladun lekaf zchut. And I took it upon myself because I saw how so easy people can make wrong judgment. So once he was in a levaya, in a funeral, of one of the rabbis in Jerusalem. In the funeral, everybody is going, and he sees the dead friend, one of his friends also, he was in the funeral too. And then, at a certain point, this guy, he's leaving the funeral, and he gets into a flower shop. A flower shop? In the middle of the funeral? What are we? Are not Jewish? We're just putting flowers on the grave? What exactly it is? And this guy is waiting. After a few minutes, he comes out with this pot with a flower, and he's going with this, and he wants to leave the levaya, the funeral. The Rabbi Ariel, he doesn't understand. What exactly is this? And he said to himself, I'm not going to ask him. Who knows what kind of conclusion I'll get to. So he goes and he stops and he says, please, what is this story? Why are you leaving the levaya? Why are you not going all the way to the cemetery with us and buying flowers? What is this stuff? He tells him, I want to tell you something. I'm taking care of a person that lays in the hospital. This person, Lo Alenu, has leprosy. Leprosy is a very contagious disease of the skin. And he's laying down in a special hospital. They had a special hospital in Jerusalem for leprosy people. People who had leprosy. Yeah, several. So this guy passed away today. And the doctors decided that we have to burn all his objects, all his belongings, so that other people won't use it. It's very contagious. This guy had a tefillin, a pair of tefillin. I want to burn it? So I asked the doctor if I'll take and bury it, like the law is to bury it inside the ground, inside a pot from clay. And I'll bury it, so I'll make sure nobody uses it. It's okay with you, instead of burning? Doctor said, if you bring it to me till 10 o'clock, it's okay. Because then we have to do this procedure, we don't have time, blah, blah, blah. He says, fine. And I realized that it's 9:30 already, and I have to run to give it to him. If not, they will burn this tefillin. So I have to run. I'm sorry, I have to leave the levaya and run to do this. The rabbi was shocked. He says, I would never think, I would never know that he does such a thing for such a good, important thing. We see things and we make our conclusions and we decide and we judge and we say, this is not religious, he is not this, he is not that. Who gives you the permission? You have to be so careful. So, this is what it's called. What is ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha? Klal gadol b'Torah, ve'akira. What is this ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha? We are so easy with forgiving ourselves. We are so easy and fast with giving into ourselves and understand ourselves and are easy with ourselves. But when it comes to other people, you have doubts, you have questions, you have suggestions, you are not easy with understanding. That's ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. What is ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha? The same way you're so easy with yourself, try to be easy with other people. Gemara says in Sanhedrin, Maaseh Rabbeinu HaKadosh. Rabbeinu HaKadosh was sitting and teaching a shiur. And when he was teaching, he smelled a smell of the garlic. Somebody ate garlic. And it bothered him very much. He couldn't stand the smell and he couldn't teach this one. So he says, Misha achal shum sheyetze. Whoever ate garlic, get out, because I can't stand it. So Rabbi Chia Gadol, he was the biggest of the students, he got up and he left. And in his act, he kind of showed that he wanted everybody to leave. And yes, everybody left, get out and left the shiur, and the shiur was cancelled. So the next day, Rabbi Shimon, which was the son of Rabbeinu HaKadosh, comes to Rabbi Chia and he tells him, you made my father cancel the shiur? You ate this garlic, bemet? Cannot believe that you did such a thing. He says, God forbid. I didn't eat anything, but I didn't want this guy that ate this garlic to be embarrassed once he leaves and everybody will see and say, oh, he ate garlic there. So I didn't want this to happen. This is caring, this is to respect that we mean. You know? Very fine midot that we have to learn from them. Because Derech Eretz kadma Torah, came before the Torah. And caring, and being with somebody, and feeling them, right? That's a very important thing. Rabbi Akiva was a very important rabbi, and when he was young, a lot of people wanted them as a chatan, as a group, in their house. So one guy, he had this privilege, and they made an arrangement, they made the usim, they got engaged with Rabbi Akiva and his daughter. And after a while, he invited him to come to his city, to his town, so that everybody will see him, kind of showing off, like who is his son-in-law, and people can ask him questions, and people can see how big in Torah exactly he is. So he comes into this town, they go to the synagogue, people start questioning him, asking him questions. He becomes like a mute. He doesn't talk. He doesn't say anything. And nobody understands. This is this great chatan that you were so proud of. They look at him, kind of make laugh at him. You don't know anything, and your son-in-law is with you, and you're this and you're that. So the father-in-law felt so embarrassed. He didn't know what to do with himself. He's like wanted already in his mind to break off this shiur, and so his son-in-law comes to him and tells him, give me 2 more days. Okay. 2 more days, he invites them again to shul. People are questioning him, all kind of questions. He answers them on the spot. They make she'elot, v'tshuvot, v'shiur, everything is so live and beautiful. They see that he's really Talmid Chacham. So his father-in-law didn't understand, and he tells him, I don't understand, why did you make this show before? Why you humiliated me and showed yourself that you don't know anything, and all of a sudden now you show off and you say, and you're happy and you're okay and this and that. He tells him, I'll tell you the truth. When I came to this town, I saw my friend, another groom, another chatan, that comes to this shul also. And his father-in-law also wanted to show off him. But he's not so smart like I am. I know that he's not. And I didn't want to embarrass him in a way, you know, to put my shadow on him so he won't be so smart next to me. I didn't want to do this. So he left the town. He went back to his city. Everything's okay. Now I can show my talents. See how careful are these people? It's amazing. This is this Derech Eretz that we mentioned. Rav Levinstein in his book, he says that when Leah gave birth to Reuven, she says, "Vatar Leah vatel ben v'tkar shmo Reuven." What does Rashi says about this? She said, "Re'u ma ben bni leven chami." Look the difference between my son Reuven and Esav. Esav and Yaakov had a debate. Who's going to earn this, how you call it, Bechorah? Firstborn rights? Who's going to earn this? And Yaakov took it away from Esav. How did Esav react? Huh?
At that time,
He was mad.
He was mad. Angry, upset, right? Naturally, no? He says, this is the way that usually people, if they don't have Torah, this is how they act. And it's very natural, and you can understand. In America, they teach you, oh, you have anger, you have to show it out, don't keep it inside. That's what they show. That's what they teach us. But Reuven, when he understood that he is not going to be the Bechor, the firstborn, but Yosef is going to take it away from him, how did he act?
he was okay.
Huh?
He was okay with it.
He was okay with this? Not only he was okay with this, more than that. it says that when Reuven was in the pit, when the brothers threw him into the pit, and he was praying, he was making tshuva, he came and he wanted to save Yosef. Hello, Yosef, he took away the Bechorah from you. How you want to save him? Why you care about him? That's what Leah said. See the difference between my son and Esau. See, I told you last week, our mothers, they had very, very big, good qualities. Okay, it looks to us like Rachel was something special and Leah was not. See the quality of Reuven. Where is this coming from? It does come from his parents. It does come from his mother. Okay, and when she named him Reuven, she says, "See the difference. My kids are going to be kids of Torah, kids with qualities, kids that work on themselves. In a way, it's like an angel. How can you understand that? How can we be like that? But that's what the Torah teaches us. Work on yourself. Work on equality. Don't let this evil intention come out of you and start screaming and start getting upset and let yourself do all these things because people made you upset. It doesn't go like that. Baruch Ber, he had a daughter. He was the Rosh Yeshivat Kamenetz. He had a daughter that she was very tough. And it was very, very hard to find a shidduch. Very hard. For years and years, they're trying this way, they're trying that way. No. And they can't find a shidduch. Eventually, she said yes to a guy. They were so happy. Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. And they send him gifts and they give them back and this and that. What was used in that day is that they didn't see each other for many, many months. He would live in his own town, she would live in her own town. They wouldn't see each other. Sometime later, they get a letter from the post office, and in that letter he sends back the package. He sends back the gifts that they sent him, that they gave him, and he just wrote without any explanation that he cancels off this shidduch. The boy. After waiting so many times, she says yes, and now he's canceling on her without even explaining why. Of course we understand that she felt bad, that her father felt devastated, that her mother felt I don't know what. And so okay, that's what can you do. A few months later, this guy writes the rabbi a letter. You would think maybe apology letter? No. He says, I put my candidate to be a rabbi in a certain community, and I want a letter for recommendation. Slicha? If anything, you know? If anything, I'll throw you, I don't know exactly where, right? This guy, the Khatan, that canceled this shidduch, wanted a recommendation letter. So the rabbi is thinking, what should I do? And he does want to work on himself. So he does sit down and write the recommendation letter. In the recommendation letter, you have to write that this guy has such good qualities, that he's so good, that he's talented, that he'll be able to lead his community, that he listens to his rabbi, whatever.
But it's not
He reads this down, wait. He reads this down, and he calls 3 of his students. He tells them, please sit down here. I want you to read this letter. You remember that story? Yes. What can you tell me about this? Is it true what I wrote? Because I think that maybe I'm
conscious about this?
no,
He's involved.
Bias.
Yeah, about this. And maybe I won't write it the right way. Maybe I won't write it. Can you read and see if it's perfect and people will understand that he's really, that he has the qualities to become a rabbi? He didn't write forcibly. He wrote that he's able to be a community leader. He didn't write about how good, I don't know exactly, but he wrote straight to the point. The students felt so bad for their rabbi, but they were admiring him, the way that he works on himself so much, and he was able to write this kind of a letter. So when we put together our obligations to Hashem, mitzvot shebe'adam l'makom, and our obligations to to the society, ben adam l'chavero, so Hashem, in this mitzvot that He gave us, He elevates us so many levels higher than the regular people that living on this earth, right? It's nothing to be, you cannot compare it to nobody, to the Gentiles. Yeah, they're good people, they're very good people, but they don't have this level of qualities, these levels of working on yourself so much and becoming, in a way, like an angel. This is what the Torah teaches us. When we speak about midot, when we speak about Derech Eretz, don't forget, ladies, that chesed and all these midot, they start at home. Sometimes we're kind to a neighbor, but we're not so kind to our husbands. So what if he asked me? So you have to be careful, because with the people that are closer to you at home, you have to be even more careful how you talk. You allow yourself, say, what do you think you are? Or calling names, or saying all kinds of things. But inside the house, you have to be more careful. Your husband's supposed to be, he's not like just a partner to you, he's more than that. And you have to respect him. Let's learn some laws, a little bit, about what is this Derech Eretz. There is Derech Eretz bedibur, as you talk. It says, L'olam yarbe adam b'shtika. Remember we spoke last week about how important it is to be silent sometimes. So they say it's better that you are silent because you don't make mistakes. You don't talk nonsense. You don't say things that are not needed and you can stumble and make a mistake. And you should speak calmly with people, not screaming, not being impulsive. שאדם לא יוציא דבר מגונה מפיו. He shouldn't say bad words, he shouldn't say curses, he won't call people names and stuff like that. להקדים שלום, we mentioned before. All the things that we mentioned before all apply here. דרך ארץ באכילה, when you eat. What is this דרך ארץ when you eat? People shouldn't eat outside in the streets. It's not דרך ארץ to eat outside. You don't eat while you walk or while you stand. It's better to sit down next to the table. You eat normally. He shouldn't look like he's so hungry that when he comes and he sees the plate, he wants to finish everything. He wants to finish this whole drink in a gulp. He wants... Don't be like that. It's not nice. שלא ילקק אצבעותיו. He shouldn't lick his fingers when he's eating to show, it was so good, I liked it. It was, you know. When people sit at the table, first the oldest in the table or the most respected one, he should, eat first, and then you're all waiting until not the youngest first, or this Derech Eretz and when people eat. Derech Eretz belevush, clothing. It says, Rambam says, always people should be, as we said before, going on the middle path. Don't wear too fancy clothing. Don't wear too ragged and simple clothing that cost you maybe $2 in the store and that's it. It depends how. Don't buy these things that are only for one-time use, because you're wasting your money, and the rabbis are caring for the money of the people. Clean clothing, not with all kind of stains and dirt and I don't know exactly what. Not see-through clothing, and it's not talking about women. It talks even about men. Not see-through clothing. Derech Eretz, when you walk, they say not to walk in a very, very way, in a fashion that you're so important, that your head is so high. What do you think about other people?
What about driving?
What about driving? Yeah, you cannot show off and drive at a very fast, high speed and showing everybody that you are the king. Okay? Derech Eretz between people. Okay, we mentioned some things. It says, כל המכבד את חברו, whoever respects his friend, זוכה לחיי העולם הבא. Interesting. זוכה לחיי העולם הבא.
Whoever respects the friend.
החושד בחברו בדבר שאין בו. If you suspect your friend for something that he didn't do, צריך לפייסו. You have to go and you have to appeal him. You have to ask for forgiveness, for apology. אל תהי בז לכל אדם. Don't think, oh, who you are, you're nothing, you don't look nice.
Even if you accuse in the face or behind the face. Like behind his words.
Yeah.
Behind it. This lady, somebody stole something from her. And she was thinking that from attendant table. But after a while she found it and she's like, oh, I found it. I have it.
Yeah, but she has to go and apologize to her and tell her, listen, I'm so sorry. שלא ייכנס אדם פתאום לביתו. You shouldn't get inside the house all of a sudden without, knocking or showing or making some kind of noise outside. She always speaks about men, especially when you go to other people's home, not only into your home, because maybe they do something private, maybe they won't feel comfortable, These things, not to speak, God forbid, and not... Okay, לעולם תהיה דעתו שאדם מעורבת עם הבריות means do whatever they do. If they all sleep, you sleep. Don't be opposite than everybody. Don't do opposite things, than anybody else. Derech Eretz between rabbis and students, there are many, many laws how people are supposed to respect their rabbis, even more than their father, because the rabbi does teach them laws and Torah, and whoever teaches one halacha even, you have to respect them. Definitely rabbis. Bipnei seva takum, you see elder people, you have to get up and be careful to keep neat and clean the place that you're sitting on, the place you're around, and be careful not to waste money or not to waste the possessions of yours or others, and so on and so on and so on. This is Derech Eretz. Without Hashem, next week I want to teach you one more thing before we coming to Lag BaOmer. Do you have any questions? You want to ask anything?
It's a woman. It's okay if they do this.